Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Okay. This particular segment is going to cover, I guess the best thing I can say is hearsay. There are so many views and opinions of what you can and what you can't do and what you can get away with and what you can't get away with while living here in the Middle East. While I must admit that there are many aspects of the Middle East that are very comfortable, or that's not the best term, I would say are very laid back. There we go. Laid back. The situation of crime is almost non-existent. It's at a point where if there is any crime, it kind of makes the news, or the newspaper for that matter. And the people really are good people as far as the respect for property, the respect for the person of the person. You don't find just basically a lot of crime here, so there is a tendency to think that since the aspect of crime isn't really prevalent, that maybe we can get away with a few things, and I'll just mention a few. There are some people who say, well, let me walk you through what happens when you get off the plane in two places that I know of for sure. I'll start with one. If you go to the Kingdom of Bahrain, the little tiny little ink dot, okay, off the coast of Saudi Arabia. From what I have learned, it is it's kind of like a protectorate of Saudi, so they have a close relationship with Saudi. When you get off the plane there, as you clear the baggage area and you claim your baggage, as you're exiting, you will have to purchase a visitor's visa. To my knowledge, Saudi Arabia does not give visitor's visas. You can have a visitor visa in Bahrain. This visitor's visa, at the last time that I was actually a visitor, was roughly around 3 Bahraini dinar, or somewhere around, or maybe less than that, or somewhere around $5. So you pay $5. This visitor visa lasts for 2 weeks. That's it. 14 days from the time that it's stamped. You have to keep that paper with you at all times. That and your passport, so that if you, in the event that you are stopped, which is not very likely when you know, Americans have a particular look about them in a lot of cases, so you're not going to really be targeted. They really target the Asians because many of them, they come and they stay over, or they're illegal, or he came over legal but he's not legal now, and so forth. So if you are stopped, you want to have that paper on you at all times. At all times. I can't stress it enough. You'll run into a lot of trouble. So keep that visitor paper, visa paper that they're going to give you. They're going to stamp it in your passport as well, but you don't want to be walking around with your passport on you all the time, but you need some identification. So the passport plus the visa, keep them together. After 14 days, you must go to the immigration office in downtown Manama, and I don't believe there is another office. I think they only have one, because Bahrain is very small. So you have to go to the immigration office. You bring the passport with you, and you can pay five dinar for 2 weeks, or you can pay 40 dinar for 1 month. I know it doesn't add up. You would figure, okay, 5 dinar, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 10 dinar. Doesn't work like that. It's either 2 weeks or a month. So you pay 5 dinar or you pay 40 dinar. Okay, and you can only pay for, the longest that you can pay for at one time is 1 month. So you'll pay 40 dinar for 1 month, and then that's it. You can't pay for 3 months or 4 months ahead of time and like that. I have heard in one place where someone has done that, but I don't know. But Bahrain, I'm sure is not. I'm positive it's not like that. So, and I've actually asked this question. So you pay this, then they will stamp you, and you're done. You don't have to exit the country. Excuse me. If you have children, wife and children, only the first time that you renew them, you have to bring the passports. After that, you don't really have to bring them. Okay, so the first time they have to see the your wife, and they have to see your children, and then they'll stamp. You'll pay the money for each of them. They'll stamp it, and then that's the end. And you can keep renewing if you have 40 Bahrain dinar to give every month, times however many people in your family. If you have that kind of money, you can keep renewing until your heart's delight. Okay. Then after they renew for the second time or the third time or any other subsequent time after that, they don't have to be present. That is the only visa that I know of that Bahrain gives, other than your work visa and like this. If you exit the country and you come back in, you have to pay a re-entry fee. So, and this is whether you are working or whether you're a visitor. So if you're working and you exit the country of Bahrain for any reason, when you come back in, you have to pay I think they changed it. It was 5 dinar, and then one family came back, it was 20 dinar. 20 dinar. So what you want to do is, before you leave the States, you want to go to the embassy and get yourself a multiple entry visa. Go by the embassy for the Kingdom of Bahrain, and get yourself a multiple entry visa. I think you will pay, at the time that they were doing it, because now the economy being the way it is, I'm sure it's much higher. It was $50. If it was $50 at that time, I'm sure it's higher than that now. But this multiple entry visa that you'll pay for is good for 5 years. So you go in and out, in and out, in and out for 5 years, and you won't have to pay anything. So I would strongly advise you to do that. If you don't, you're going to pay $5. You're going to pay 5 dinar every time you come in. The currency rate right now for the dinar, it's $2.65 for every dinar. So that can be pretty pricey. When it comes to Kuwait, if you go to the state of Kuwait, which is the official name, you will pay 3 Kuwaiti dinar. And that 3 Kuwaiti dinar gets you a visitor visa. If you are a Westerner, will get you a visitor visa for 3 months. I don't know what it is for the Asian countries, but I know for the Western countries, it's 3 KD, 3 months. That's it, which is really nice, because you have some time now. You can, you have some breathing room. Now, the only drawback with that is that with Kuwait, when your time for the visa is up, you cannot go to the immigration office. You must leave the country. Under some circumstances, you will be allowed to go. You can go to the immigration office, and depending on your situation, you may get an extension for, I think, 2 weeks, maybe a month. But the time and the effort that you would have to go through in order to get that done really doesn't equal the amount of time, and you're only extended for 2 weeks or a month. It's never more than that. But a lot of people, when they exit the country, they'll take a little short plane ride to Bahrain, or they'll go to the UAE, or like this, somewhere close by. It's a little hop. And there's an airline here called Al Jazeera Airlines. Al Jazeera Airlines has flights going on, I think, 3 times a week, back and forth to Bahrain. It's a little hop. It takes about 45 minutes from Kuwait to Bahrain. You'll stay overnight, and then when you decide to come back, when you come in the next time, you go back through the same process. You go through customs, you pick up your baggage, and it's designed so that the visa counter is the last counter you see before you go out. Well, I'm sorry, it's the first counter that you come across as you're coming out the terminal. So the terminal is constructed in such a way where it walks you through those passages, and then after that, you will pay 3 KD. And you can go out and come back in, and go out and come back in. It's 3 KD, 3 KD, 3 KD. That's it. So, and it's 3 months all the time. When you finish with that, you want to make sure that you want to give yourself enough time that you can schedule your flight to go out and to come back in. Make sure you have a flight going out, because sometimes if you wait until the day your visa expires and there's no plane going out, you're going to incur a late fee, and you don't want to incur a late fee. The late fee is 2 KD for every day that you're over. 2 KD for every day that you're over. We'll talk about that on the next clip, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.